Alright, so Marvel just dumped all 8 episodes of Wonder Man at once. A lot of you have probably already finished it. I, however, haven't done that. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, and instead of pretending I've seen the whole thing or waiting a week to catch up, I figured why not just review it as I go? So these are my thoughts so far, judging the show purely on what it is right now. The first thing I'll say, the show feels surprisingly down to earth. And I don't mean in a boring down to earth way. I mean grounded in a way Marvel hasn't really pulled off this consistency in a while. While I was watching these episodes, I never caught myself checking how much time was left of the episode. That's a big deal for a Marvel show, at least for me. The episodes are around 30 minutes, and honestly I wish Marvel would do this more often. I don't know when the 40 to 50 minutes became the default standard, but whenever Marvel chases that runtime, it usually just backfires. You end up with filler scenes, dragged out conversations, and way too many moments of characters sitting in a room just talking. Now, to be fair, Wonder Man also has scenes of people sitting in a room talking, but the difference is, so far, it doesn't feel bloated. There aren't any big action set pieces yet, no massive CGI fight scenes, and I'm actually okay with that, because the show is clearly aiming to be more street level and more personal. The story centers on Simon Williams, a struggling actor in LA. He's trying to make it, barely getting by, and clearly feels like he's running out of time, and ends up crossing paths with Trevor. Yes, that Trevor, the Mandarin actor, who's also still doing the whole acting thing. The two of them connect over their shared love of acting, and Trevor starts helping Simon prepare for a role, a classic superhero called Wonder Man. Here's where things get interesting. Trevor is secretly working with the Department of Damage Control. They're using him to spy on Simon because they suspect Simon has powers and could potentially be a threat to public safety. And what I like here is that the relationship between Simon and Trevor actually feels genuine. As the episodes go on, you can tell that Trevor starts to actually care about him, even though he's still feeding information to Damage Control. We don't really know much about Simon's powers yet. The show is deliberately holding back, and that's fine. What we do know is that he has some kind of uncontrollable ability that becomes unstable when he's agitated or emotional. So yeah, Damage Control might not be completely wrong to keep an eye on him. As a character, Simon is a lot. He's extremely passionate about acting, almost too passionate, I would say. He's constantly coming up with elaborate backstories for his role, even tiny insignificant ones. And while that dedication is kind of admirable, it also makes him annoying to be around on the set and probably holds him back professionally. But that flaw is definitely intentional. He's not written as some effortlessly cool Marvel protagonist. He's awkward, intense, and clearly obsessed with the craft. And that obsession is what creates chemistry between him and Trevor, because Trevor feels the same way about acting. Even if his career has gone in a very different direction, let's just say, their dynamic is easily the strongest part of the first 2 episodes. At this point, I don't really feel the need to speculate too much because the story is going, all the episodes are already out, I can just, watch them. So far, Wonder Man feels smaller, more focused, and more confident than a lot of Marvel shows. It's not trying to save the universe, it's not drowning itself in lore, it's just telling a character-driven story, and so far it's doing a decent job. If you already watched Wonder Man, let me know in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.